How are you today?
Not too bad.
How's the day so far?
It's kind of hot.
I get it. I get it. So, Jason, you started with Angels on the Battlefield in 2020. So, how is it going with the band so far?
So far, so good. We've been doing a lot of pre-production recording.
Mhm.
We finished one song. It's going to be released pretty soon. Modern Day Prometheus.
Mhm.
We had it recorded. We all recorded it separately at our separate in our separate studios,
Mhm.
and had a friend Lars master it, mix and master it.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Jason. And Jason, how did you find JD McGivney and how this joining of the band really happened?
I know him when I was in another band. We were on tour together,
Mhm.
and he was, I think his band was the opening band for us, and we just became friends. And I think that was like 2015. I think it was 2015. Yeah, we toured for about I'd say a month and a half, 2 months around the country.
Yeah.
He seemed like a cool guy, and then later on down the road, I'm not in that band anymore, obviously, and um, I had some home issues to take care of. So my touring days I thought were over, but he pretty much kind of just said, "Hey, I need a bass player," and I said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Wonderful, wonderful. And you were with Butcher Babies for quite some time, or almost 10 years with them. Since they started the band, you were there for almost 10 years of the
Yeah,
time. So how
yeah.
was it to be with Butcher Babies and how did you got into that band?
Um, well, how I got into that band was, what was 2009, 2010. I was just looking to be a part of something. And I was in Hollywood, and my friend, who actually became the drummer of that band, funny story, he was playing in a local hard rock band, and one of the singers, Carla, was dating the guitar player in that band. And I was really trying to get into that band, because they were doing some Hollywood gigs and they were opening up for Steel Panther. And I was like, all right, that's a there's an avenue right there. So while I was trying to schmooze the guitar player and buy him drinks, it's like, hey man, I'm cool. You want me as a bass player? Um, Carla said, I have a band and we're looking for a bass player. And I said, oh, okay. So I hooked up with her. She sent me some demos and I learned them. And we played a couple of shows together. And after the first show, I was like, you know what? I was just going to do it as, just like as a paid gig. And that was one and done. But after the first gig, I was like, no, there's something here. So, and then later on, I got my friend Chris, who introduced me to her in that band. So we toured, we started touring heavily 2012, and it was nonstop, pretty much nonstop up until I guess the end of 2018.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I learned a lot with them. I grew a lot with them. I've been around the world with them. I've done stuff that I never thought I would ever be able to do.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And JD McGivney's Angels on the Battlefield is all about the mental awareness, and he's doing a lot of fundraising for the Europe Foundation, a lot of stuff. So, how do you feel about that? And what is your contribution towards that?
I think it's great that there's a lot of people that have a lot of issues to deal with, and they never really have an avenue or an outlet to be able to um, express themselves. And even when they do, they're laughed or scoffed at, and then they close back up. Um, if it's kind of, there's not many bands that go out of their way and do donations to mental health like this. I mean, bands talk about it and they're active about it, but not necessarily financially. Whereas this project is more of a nonprofit, and it goes to to helping people that have they're struggling, with depression, anxiety, sometimes drug addiction, alcoholism. So I think we I think we're starting to see, especially nowadays, with especially after the lockdowns. I mean, I met a lot of people that from my past that it really took a toll on them. So they're going to need an avenue to
Yeah.
vent, and kind of an organization to be a part of, to feel like they're not alone. So I think it's really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what is your thoughts on how music can heal this kind of people, and how do you think music can make a change in their life and make them come out of these mental issues and other problems as well?
Music has always been a natural healer, like from any kind of note, whether you're listening to something in a major scale or maybe a slightly darker minor scale, or even the pentatonic scale, more bluesy. It always invokes emotions in people. And I think people need that escape. It's kind of like reading a book, right? You get lost in the chapters, you get lost in the storyline. And whether there's singing or no singing or anything like that, it's just sometimes just the sound, the vibrations coming, out of those speakers.
Yeah.
It has a healing process. It's the vibration, can't remember. I think I know someone who talks about that a lot, but um, our human bodies are all on a frequency, right? Sometimes we hit those right vibrations that help us heal. So not to go too far down that road, but I think music is a good outlet for people. You could go to, you can watch. Some people like movies, and that helps too. But music in general, like for me especially, and maybe you as yourself, like you find yourself getting lost in it, and you have a smile afterwards. Or if you're having a bad day, it's like, I need to listen to something real slamming. Or if you're in kind of a mellow mood, maybe throwing something slower, some jazzy, right? Whatever you're feeling at the time. But I think it the way it affects me is like, I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. Whenever I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm really moody or depressed, but just when I want to feel mellow, I'll listen to an old Pink Floyd record, and a record, not a CD. I like the old vinyl.
Yeah. That's amazing, amazing, Jason. And uh, what would be some of the next plans for Angels on the Battlefield?
Angel Bath, we're planning on doing. We're gonna do the single release once we get everything squared away with I think distribution, and and who's going to play it, and as far as the any kind of royalties, obviously those go to U Rock Foundation. Um, there is an album that is in the works. It's actually 3 albums in the works, but we start with the first album. This does have a sort of Cirque du Soleil stage show, so there's a lot of production that goes behind it. Trying to get that stage show ready for the public, and something that kind of goes on the road a little, but mainly probably that it would be more or less like wouldn't probably looking more like residencies at certain places, but definitely getting the word out, getting the music out, especially with the first single, Modern Day Prometheus. But as of right now, everything's still in the works. We're looking for choreographers. Have I said that right? Choreographers for the performers on stage, because there's going to be a band, and then along with the band, there'll be performers on stage, and it's all kind of there's no words, there's no lyrics, there's no singing to the song, but it's just like the performers will be interpreting what the song is about, and then so kind of cool, fun, very theatrical. I liked it, and I used to work in theater too, not as an actor, but building sets and doing sound and setting up lights. So, pretty cool.
Amazing, amazing. And any plans to travel around the world to spread the music of Angels on the Battlefield?
Absolutely, that's the plan. Obviously getting the stage show to where not stripped down, but get the show on the road, so to speak. So, not go as pack as light as possible, but with as much tools at our disposal as possible. So yeah, there's obviously a big there's a market for it, and there's obviously plans to go worldwide. I mean, you name the country, if they got a venue, we're gonna play it. I'd love to play the Acropolis one day, but we'll see.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And do you also work along with some other projects, or you're only focusing on Angels on the Battlefield for now?
As of right now, it's Angels on the Battlefield, but I do a lot of side work. One is another buddy of mine, who I also am in somewhere in business with him. He's building guitar cabinets and guitar amplifiers, and he's also getting into guitar building. And it's Troubadour amplifiers, and he's also got his own project. Thump Drag is the name of his project, and I'm playing bass for them. Although it's all just recording in my home studio and sending him the tracks, and he's mixing it. But it's your typical, I guess more thrash, kind of like a thrash metal kind of deal. So doing that, and then there's a couple other projects, some that don't even have names, but yeah, anytime somebody hits me up, on Messenger or email or LinkedIn sometimes, can I do a bass track? So I've been doing bass tracks, and it's great. I don't have to leave my house. I can, when I come home from work, I, go in my home studio, put my headphones on and just jam away, and then send over the tracks. If they want me to change something, I'll change it for them. But it's pretty cool. I love technology. It's great.
Yeah,
We're not even in the same room, and
yeah,
you're interviewing me.
yeah, it's amazing. And do you take students for bass classes?
You say it again?
Do you take students to teach bass?
I tried that. I tried that maybe like 8 years ago. I tried doing something like that, but I've never really pursued it. I tried teaching people here and there, but no, I haven't. Is there, maybe I should. That's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind.
Amazing, amazing. And Jason, would you like to share some of the great moments that you had over the years?
Great moments I've had over the years. Yeah, there's a lot. We were on tour when I was in Butcher Babies. We were on tour with Marilyn Manson. We opened up for him. That was 2013. I don't remember the name of the tour, but we were in Canada, and we're just this small band. We this is like our second major tour, and being able to be the direct support for Marilyn Manson and playing in front of his crowds. I can't remember. I think it was Edmonton, Canada, and we had only played in front of maybe at that point, the most was maybe 5,000 people. This was closer to 8,000 to 9,000 people in this convention center, and we were just blown away. And people were ready. I think Manson went on late or something like that, or he was going to go on later, and we got to play an extra. I remember we got to play an extra 20 minutes, and we got to play in front of his fans. And we were on tour with them for the whole month of February, but we were just taken back at all these people, just like, oh my God, this is what it must feel like to be a real rock star, And his crew really liked us, and his light guy would always get in trouble because they'd make our stage show look better than his because they'd use all the fog and the lights and all that cool stuff. So that was pretty cool. Another one must have been 2015. We were in France for Hellfest, and we were the first band to go on that stage. It was because there's like two stages, and the stage we were on, the Scorpions were going to close out. That's one of my favorite bands that I grew up listening to. And it was like 12 hours later they would go on, but there's a bunch of bands, and we're like, it was 11:30 or 12 a.m. 12 in midday, and we're like, no one's going to be here. when we got up on stage, no, the crowd wasn't fully packed, but there was estimated 40 to 50,000 people.
Wow.
And we stared out at that and we played and we feel like this little tiny band up there. And we didn't even have wireless systems for our guitars. And I had a cable that I was like, I can barely make it to the end of the stage and the cable's lifting up. I'm like, oh shit, don't pull out of the amp, you know? But that was cool. And I think that's still on YouTube somewhere, but man, so that kind of adrenaline, you
Yeah.
can't replicate that. That's just something that I one thing I do miss about being in a band is playing in front of people. I do miss that. I don't necessarily miss uh, being on the road or being in airplanes, and I don't really care about that. But playing, that's what I miss. Those are some fun times.
Amazing. And what would be the biggest dreams for you?
The biggest dreams
Yeah.
for the future, or
Anything that you're currently seeing or going to look into the future.
uh, I guess right now the biggest dreams as far as musically, I mean, I think writing, coming up with new material, because that's one of the fun things is being able to sit down in a studio and work with other musicians and come up with something. I can come up with things, my own studio and like, yeah, it's cool, but there's something about that push pull between, this guy has an idea and this guy has an idea, I have an idea, or he's got an idea, or they have an idea. And then like, okay, how do we make all this work together? And sometimes you get frustrated, like, damn it. But that push pull between a group of people, so much great material comes out of that. And I guess that's what I look forward to.
Amazing, amazing. And Jason, finally, what would be the message that you want to give to the fans around the world?
The message for my fans. Um, I haven't gone anywhere. I've been here the whole time, but I'll I'm coming back. Thank you guys for all your support over the years, and I hope to see everybody soon.
Amazing, amazing. And Jason, it's a pleasure to meet you today and have this wonderful interview with you. And thank you for the great music over the years. And thank you for your contribution and work with Angels on the Battlefield. I wish you all the best and hope to see you guys some days in the future.
Thank you very much.
You have a great evening out there. Take care.
Thank you.